He's spoiled. And you know, when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like, he's rotten. But I love that. Like, I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy.
Welcome to the S.Banks&JD Network podcast. I'm your host, S.Banks, and I'm joined by my co-host,
JD.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about my biggest flex is how I treat my man.
Whoa, whoa.
Toot, toot, toot. No,
Imagine that though. Your biggest flex is how you treat your man. In today's culture,
It speaks volumes.
I don't need no man.
Exactly.
That's what women say, right?
Yep.
I don't need no man. I can do all bad by myself. Fair enough. Men might have built society so good women can speak like this, but it is what it is. We have 2 clips for you today, and I want to jump right in, and we're going to break them down clip by clip. So without further delay, let's start with clip number 1.
You feel like men go to a woman that is underneath them or beneath them so that way they can feel superior. I'm gonna give you an example. I have someone that's really, really close to me, and he just got out of a relationship. Now he's in a new one, and that girl that he's now with doesn't look up to par. And this girl looks like she still needs help. And so he said, well, I don't want someone that is superficial, someone that cares about social media and all into their looks and doesn't care about money. But I feel like a lot of men will settle for a woman who looks less than, so that way they are not pressed to step up.
I do feel like that. I do feel like some men want to feel like men. And I always tell you this, like, men want to feel like men. And some men cannot feel like that with a top-notch female. You
But
get what I'm
why?
saying?
Do better.
You have to ask them. I really think it has something to do with their inner self-esteem.
Do you run into that,
They
though?
probably... I don't run into that. I made more money than somebody before. But see, that gave him motivation. It didn't really make him, but he did cheat on me with
Someone
fans.
Okay,
Yeah.
my first thought is this. Do women actually know what men want in relationships? What's your thoughts on that?
I think a lot of women know. They just don't want to do the things that they know of.
So they're lazy. But the thing is this, right? Women will say, because they mentioned in this clip, all about how making money, yada, yada, yada. So the women become the men that they want, and they think those men want the same women that they are, when it's like a mirror of themselves. Men don't want masculine women.
Yeah.
So you've levered yourself up when you say, okay, cool. I've got my degree. I've got this and I've got that, right? But then you're exempt from being an actual female. Physically, yeah, you've got like a vagina. You got some, stuff, right? I'm trying to think of a nice word. But you got body parts of a woman, right? But acting like a female, you're exempt from that. You're not that. You know what I mean? So you're saying you're a man to make 6 figures, 6 foot tall, blah, blah, blah. The 6 sixes, so they're real off the list. But then those women have made themselves exactly what I just described.
Yeah.
But men don't want that in women.
No.
So women don't actually know what men want in relationships. They just assume based on some BS or what they believe a man should want. When they go, I feel. But when a woman goes, I feel, this means logic and reason has gone out the window.
True. I do think a lot of women do know what men want. They just don't want to play that role. And there are some women who don't know what men want, and they just assume what they think men want. And like you just said, as in making money, basically doing the things that men do. And that's not what men want. They don't want their women to do what they do.
To be masculine.
Exactly. So
A billionaire could marry a waitress, someone that works in McDonald's. that should tell you a lot, because when a man is actually taking a woman seriously, he's looking at her character, how fit, feminine, friendly, how peaceful, submissive. Did I just say a bad word there? See, men are looking for those very basic stuff, those very standard things that women support. All models are supposed to come with that, but they don't. So I think that's the problem. They say, oh, this man, okay. They said in this clip that they was with a man and then a man cheated on them or didn't do whatever, right? But hold up though. If he cheated with a lesser woman than you, shouldn't you question, there's something not quite right here.
Yeah.
A piece of the puzzle is not adding up.
It's missing. Yeah. Definitely, that's true. I think it happens quite often to where, okay, typically men want a woman who's very pretty,
Who look good.
pleasing to the eye, fit, friendly, and all the rest of it. So say he does find a woman that tick those boxes. And then for whatever reason, he ends up cheating on her, and he cheats on her, let's say, for example, because we're talking about, they're saying the women who are less than, right? So then say he cheats with a woman that's less than his actual girlfriend. So as in looks wise, she's not as pretty. So let's say she's average.
So, but hang on a second. I have to interject for a second, right? What is less than? Because these women are going from exterior wise, right? So they're saying that because they believe they look better than a woman that needs help.
Exactly.
So elaborate on that part. What do you think on that?
That's what I got from them as well. They're just looking at it from the outside.
Yeah.
And that's it. Not from the inside, who you are, what type of person you are, your morals or anything like that. It's just, oh, I look better than her, so you're settling for something less than. How dare you cheat on me with a girl that's like uglier than me? Like, please, like, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the thing. You always hear that a lot though. Women, they say, oh, like the chick that he cheated on with, look at her,
she's
she
fat and ugly and whatever else.
Dusty.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah. So what a lot of women, they don't realize that he cheat. Okay, some men just cheat for whatever reason, right? But some men cheat because you are clearly not doing certain things that he wants, right? So then you have the aesthetics, as in you look pretty, you have a banging body. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Okay, cool. But what else do you bring? And say the girl who is average looking, maybe a bit average on a chubbier, maybe being on a chubbier side, for example, right? Maybe she brings more to him than his girlfriend. So say she is more submissive, say she will cook more, say she will actually ask him, how are you doing today? She's
a decent character.
Do you see what I mean? So that's the reason why men will cheat on their, let's say, 9 out of 10 girlfriend, is because you're not giving him something that he wants, and this girl that you deem to be as less than, he will take her over you. Then you need to question yourself. What am I not doing?
Fair enough. That's true. What am I doing, or what am I not doing?
Yeah.
It just depends on the circumstances. But I think sometimes when women believe, because women overestimate their sexual market value and they believe that they're higher than, that's up to them. But are you getting outcomes that you believe you should be getting? Because a lot of women, modern women today, think that they're entitled. They say, I'm entitled. I'm supposed to get a man treat me like this. I'm supposed to get X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
You can feel that way. And as I said before, when a woman says, I feel, logic and reason's gone out the window. So you can feel that way, but it doesn't make it reality. But my question is this. Are modern women poor pickers in men?
Are modern women poor apple pickers?
Do you want me to elaborate?
You can, for the audience.
As in, okay, you pick Pookie and Ray Ray, Brad and Chad. The man's emotionally unavailable. No exist day. He ain't there, right? Treats you bad. Does all kind of BS. You complain about him because women are chaotic by nature. So he's giving you all the chaos, all the turmoil, right? That you need. He's the one that gets me off. And then you avoid the guys that you put in your friend zones, the nice guy, the alleged nice guy. I'm using the inverted rabbit ears, right? So you got the alleged nice guys, the guys that will treat you good. But you say, no, I don't want him. But then when you're 30,
Oh, now she wants to cash out.
So are modern women poor pickers in men?
Yes,
Elaborate.
I think they are. Well, okay, obviously not all, but a lot are. They choose very poorly. Um, gosh, there's lots of women that will pick Pookie and Ray Ray, like you said, Brad and
Brad and
Chad,
Chads.
and
Exactly.
they wonder why it's not working, or why he's not giving his all to you, or why you're questioning whether he's seeing other women, but you know full well what the situation is. But then you want to complain to people and say, "Oh, is this and his that," and it's like, look who you're picking though. Like, come on, really?
That's true. That's true. You ain't showing them off. Why do you believe, and people can put in the comments this as well, why do you think that women pick the fix me up a guy, then complain later?
I'm gonna say they're easier, as in they don't have to do work or put in
You
work.
can control them.
Yeah,
He needs me.
exactly. I
Does
think
it-
that's why.
So I think women in that moment have that euphoric feeling where they think, oh, I'm superior. Like, he needs me. I'm powerful. So let's talk about feminism for just a moment, right? So feminism is women wanting to be men. And they feel that euphoric feeling of the power of a man. So I think when they go for them low vibrational, low caliber men, it gives them that momentary great feeling that, oh my days,
Have control.
I'm in control of this
Yeah.
ish. But then they waste so many of their years, their youth on guys like this, then complain later. Or when they hit the wall, they go,
Oh, now she wants to cash out.
and then they realize when they want to cash out that it's too late.
Yep.
That's my fault on some of it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
it's true. They want to cash out late, and it's like, who told you this?
Mm.
Did you know that feminism is a lie? Didn't you know that a lot of your elders lied to you also? They say, read your book. School is not for guys. It's for learning and education or whatever. Now, there's nothing wrong with learning your books and having an education. Nothing wrong with it. But the problem is they say, oh, leave guys alone. But other cultures are not saying that. They're saying when you're in your youth, when you're young, in your 20s or whatever, you best be looking for your husband, because your 20s is the best.
What about women that don't want a husband? Where do you stand on that?
Well, if you don't want a husband, then
Don't want a husband, don't want kids, don't want a
it is what
relationship.
it is.
Because not all women,
No.
hear the nature call and say, I want to have kids. What do you stand on those women? Should they hang around and let me not call it that, but should they be free?
Well, first of all, everyone can do whatever the hell they want to do.
Mm.
But if you are not a woman who wants to get married or have children, and you prefer to be by yourself, literally, with your cat or dog, or maybe you don't even want to
invest in cat food and all of those things.
Maybe
You're
you
gonna
don't
get a lot of that.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you don't even want a pet, whatever the situation is. There are some women that's like that. What I'll say to them is, we'll continue to do you. What can I say to that? You don't want certain things, then hey, it is what it is. You'll obviously
Do you
be by
think a lot of
yourself.
those women would be crying later?
Some of them are just
Okay. I'm just
stuck
asking.
in their way of.
I'm just
nah.
asking from, but that sounds like ignorance and stubbornness. But
Yeah, but I think some of them will cry later and say, "Oh my gosh, I've made a massive mistake. Now I'm 60,
And
don't
you
have a
can't-
man, don't have children,
yeah, you
can't
can't
have
rewind
children."
the clock and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about a time where men, as far as daddies, brothers, used to vet the men that women used to pick, and they used to have a better outcome? Now we have a bigger majority of women nowadays, single mothers, single parent households, and those daughters that you're raising they don't know how to pick good men. What do you think about, maybe going back to old school as far as two parent households and the men
Well,
vetting and helping?
I understand we're in a new era. We're in it's a modern day and whatever else, right? We're in 2022, like a lot of people like to say. I get that. But when something's not broken, why fix it? Like, why do you need to change certain things? It works. Having two parents in a household, tell me how it's better than having one how having one parent is better than having two.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, logically, two heads is better than one. I get it,
Exactly.
and we
You
know
get
that.
in it from the female's perspective and a male's perspective. And you come together,
Yeah,
teach the child, blah, blah, blah. And the child usually
but we
fares
know
better.
stats prove that children that come from two-parent households fare better. It is what it is. Don't hate me. I'm just a messenger. It is what it is. What else do you want to add before we jump to the next clip, which is very saucy?
I don't have nothing else to add.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Put in the comments what do you guys think? What's your thoughts? But let's get to the saucy clip, and then we're gonna come back and give you our thoughts. Without further delay, here's clip number 2.
What does a submissive woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
You know, like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And like, I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like, before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And you know, when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like, he's rotten. But I love that. Like, I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like, that's who I am. Like, if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. You know, I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, you know? So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. I'm sure that was music to many men's ears. Ladies, do you agree with her? Is your man your biggest flex? Put in the comments. What's your thoughts? I'll let you chime in on that.
Well, first of all, she sounds like a very nice person. Certain things that she's doing for her man.
Most men, she sounds like the unicorn.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
So in that sense, yeah, she sounds like a nice person. Obviously, I don't know her personally, but from what we heard, if she was single, she would get swept up very easily. I'll say that. Like you mentioned about the unicorn. There's not a lot of women that speak like this or even think like this. To even mention the words, her biggest flex is her man, that says a lot.
But it shocked a lot of people though, because modern women today don't speak like that.
No.
So her saying that, I could understand why that clip went viral, because that's not the norm.
No.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, and this goes out to the modern women as well. Maybe I didn't read the comment section. I should have. But I can tell that the men would have been, listen, they'll be like, oh my days, I can't believe it. They do exist. And, you know, if only I could meet a woman like that.
There is some hope for women.
Exactly.
That's in the West.
And for those women who don't think like this woman, I'm not saying be exactly like her, no. But to women who think like her usually will get what they want pretty much. They'll get the man they want. Okay.
So, does her handshake match her smile? So, does her words match up to what it is? I don't know. But what I'm leading to is this: some women are the chameleon, right? But even her saying that, all right, cool. If I'm hearing a woman say that, as a dude,
Got my attention.
you got my attention, yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna, do some investigation. I'm gonna see what she's saying. But why do you think some women can't keep a man? What do you think some of the reasons? What's the top reasons to why you think? And people put in the comments as well. What's the top 3 reasons to why you think some women can't keep a man?
Well, first of all, they think the opposite of what this lady was saying. What, to scratch his back cooking food and
Basics they don't do.
exactly. So that in itself is like, that's why he is not going to stay around.
What about conditional femininity?
Yeah, that too.
So women will say this: if he makes money, if he's tall, if he's this, if he's that, I'll be submissive. I would have thought that comes standard on all models. I would think I don't need to have certain things for you to be submissive. If you're naturally a kind person, a submissive woman, you're submissive. I'm not saying be this to any man, but you're naturally submissive. It should just be easy to you.
Exactly. Men would see that straight
Exactly.
away. So if you're naturally submissive and naturally kind-hearted and naturally giving and whatever, men will see that. They'll pick up on it, just like women will pick up on a masculine man. So what I mean, so they'll pick up on it.
Yeah, I can't fake that.
Exactly. So it's the same thing for women. You cannot fake being feminine. You can't fake like being in a certain way. And a lot of women don't think like that. They're like, oh, I don't need no man attitude and whatever other crap they say.
Laugh now, cry later. What about women that make poor choices in relationships, i.e. with men, then they become bitter and blame men for the choices that they made? What's your thoughts on those women? Women making poor choices, then becoming bitter. Where you at with that?
Well, you should have made better choices. You've made poor choices. You've become bitter later on in life.
Now it's you. Now it's
of your
men.
decisions.
Or you men.
How can it be you men?
You saying?
Sorry, but we have to address the elephant in the room here. Like, how can you say, oh, it's meant every man that you've been, say she's had 6 boyfriends in her lifetime, right? Say she's 36 years old. She's had 6 boyfriends. And each one of those boyfriends, oh, he was this, he was that, he was toxic, oh, he was a cheat, oh, he was blah, 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 blah. That's all you hear. How is it all those 6 men that was a problem? Do you not think that maybe you need to check yourself?
The common denominator
is you.
Is that one person that dealt with those 6 men. But common sense ain't common, innit? So you highlight that, but it is what it is. A lot of women say, oh, it's the man's fault, or you men. But don't paint me with the same brush that, you deal with those other dudes on. That ain't me.
You chose him.
A man
chose him.
You women are the gateway to smashing. Men are the gateway to relationships and marriage. So if you want to get married, you should have chose the right guy. You've made poor decisions. Now you've messed up. You become bitter. Then you want to blame the world and other men for it. You hear that all day.
You need to look in the mirror and take some accountability and say, it was me, I effed up. It's okay to say that. It was me, I effed up. And I should have made better decisions and better choices. I didn't. Now I'm in the position that I'm in. Now you can say to yourself, where do I go from here? Can I make changes? Yeah. Can I do this? Can I do that to put myself in a better situation?
So basically what you're saying is do the work, but doing the work is hard. That's why women go do their surgeries, get their bums and breasts instead of going to the gym. I get it. It's easy and it's cutting corners and it's the easier thing to do. I understand it, but keep it 100. High caliber men are hard to come by. Beauty is everywhere. Why do modern women feel entitled? What do you think? I'm asking a lot of questions today.
Yeah.
Than giving more free game. It's just conversation.
Why do modern women feel more entitled?
Because again, high caliber men are hard to come by. Beauty, as far as even in women or in general, is easy.
Yes.
Why do modern women feel entitled? And people put in the comments. Questions to you.
Why do they feel entitled? I don't know. They just feel like they just deserve everything. And they don't have to put in no work for it. They just need... everything should just land in their lap. And yeah.
So
I don't
basically,
know how else to say it.
the army of simps, the culture that we live in today, where it makes women feel that they're superior, they're Wonder Woman, they can do no wrong. It is what it is. That's what I'm seeing a lot of. And women can feel how they feel. But again, are you getting the outcomes that you feel you should be getting? That's the question.
Yeah.
Put in the comments. But yeah, what else do you want to add before we round this thing out?
uh, what else do I want to add? Look, I would just say to the ladies, like you pretty much saying, if you want better outcomes and you want something different and something more on a positive side, then you need to check yourself. You need to honestly sit, look in the mirror, say, look, I was wrong. Like I said before,
I
admit
was wrong. I effed up.
exactly. Just admit you effed up, and
Yeah.
what are you gonna do about it
So
and change it?
basically, do the work.
Yeah, you have to put in the work, man. The same way you do at your job.
Okay, women used to say, men used to ask them, "What do you bring to the table?" They took offense to that.
I don't see why.
I do see why. The reason why is because they knew they didn't bring nothing to the table. So they would use sign language in order to deflect, to make the guy feel bad.
Why don't you just work on yourself instead of deflecting and making a man
Yeah.
feel bad? He's asking, what does he bring to the table? He can say, I bring this, this, and this. I bring the 4 Ps.
Mhm.
I bring structure to your life. I bring finances. I bring security. I bring certain things. What do you bring?
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
I am the
yeah, but
table.
off the rip, right? A guy has to come with the 4 Ps. He's at least being traditional from the jump.
Mhm.
For example, you meet a man, he's got to pay for a date.
Exactly.
And a woman wants a nice, luxurious date, and she wants you to pull out all the trimmings, spends how much kind of money. She wants you to entertain because women are boring in general.
How could you say that?
It's the truth. Women are boring in general. Like they can say, "Oh, I'm fun," and yada yada yada, but for the most part, there's some women,
Mhm.
not all, some women are fun, but most women are not. They think my presence is enough.
Mhm.
So then men got to be entertaining. Then I got to pay for the meal. Then I got to think, is she finessing me? There's a
Mhm.
lot of crap that goes into it.
And what does he get out of it?
Exactly, her presence.
But he's giving you your present, his
But-
presence.
Exactly, but she's okay. A lot of women today will reel off the list of requirements,
Mhm.
and those same requirements that they list off, they can't even meet those same very standards.
Exactly.
Where you
And
at with that?
another thing is, sorry,
Mm.
but a lot of women think that like you said, their attention or their presence means more than a man's presence.
It's time, yeah.
It's like saying your pum pum is worth more value than his ding ding. Do you see what I mean? It's like how? It's an equal exchange. How is it? How's yours better or more means more or how? It's
Yeah. Well, people put in the comments, but I'm just saying, if I'm giving D and she's giving some coochie, it's a 50-50. It's a fair exchange.
exactly.
So, and especially if you're a guy that's high caliber,
Mhm.
you've leveled yourself up, you've done the work, you put the work in.
Mhm.
Listen, don't settle for less. If you have your preferences and requirements and she don't meet that, because women think this, my coochie's good enough, my presence is good enough, right?
You can get coochie from
But
anywhere.
it's okay for a guy to say, I don't date a woman that doesn't have her own place. I'm not dating a woman that doesn't drive. I'm not dating a woman that doesn't have her own license, that doesn't have a job, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
It's okay. Because men feel that way too. A woman thinks, oh, because she don't work, oh, a man's gonna like me. I might want to hit that though. But I'm just saying, I'm not really gonna go out my way for that. I'm just saying, man. What's your final thoughts before we close out?
Final thoughts is, ladies, step your game up if you're not. And submission isn't slavery or a bad thing. So stop that. Cut that out. Fellas,
Do
you
the
know,
work. Do the work.
do the work also. And yeah, man. Everyone live your life, man. Be happy.
Do you think, okay, my last question is this, right? Do you think women actually, the men that they say they want,
Mhm.
do you think they know what those men want?
I think a lot of them do.
Or do they even care?
Some of them don't.
Or do we live in a culture where they're just entitled? There's a lot.
Yes, that is also correct. Some feel entitled. Yeah.
Definitely food for thought.
Yep.
People, put in the comments. Let us know where you're at with it. Put in your 2 pence. It is what it is. We got the conversation started. So yeah, that's all we're at with it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yep.
I'm out. You got anything to add?
Nope. I'm out too.
Okay, cool. See you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.